I recently helped a buyer purchase a house with an unfinished walkout basement. He's now thinking of finishing it, but there's a huge difference in the quotes he received for a legal and an illegal basement. He does not plan on having any tenants rent the space, and that's why he did not see the point in paying more for a legal basement. But is having the potential to lease to a tenant the only reason why you should be making a legal basement? Hey everyone, it's Gourav Khatri and I help people buy, sell and invest in real estate all over the GTA. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of a legal and an illegal basement. If you are thinking about finishing your basement, then this video is for you. Make sure to watch till the end. Cost. One of the biggest reasons why people choose not to make a legal basement is how much it costs to make one. In order to make a legal basement, you need to comply with the Ontario Building Code, which has certain requirements. For example, the windows need to be large enough so that people can use them to get out of the basement in case of a fire. There needs to be a separate entrance to the unit, etc. Adding a large window alone for the basement can cost an extra couple $1,000s. You also need to get a permit from the city before you can start working on the basement. Once the work is done, the city officials will come and see the place and ask you to make changes if it doesn't meet the code. Sometimes these changes can mean redoing a part of the basement all over again, which can cost you in the thousands of dollars. Additionally, you also have to find licensed contractors who charge way more than unlicensed ones. On the other hand, when constructing an illegal basement, you can make it as cheap as you want it to be. In fact, many people who are handy end up finishing their own basements without giving much thought to whether it meets the Ontario Building Code or the fire safety requirements. I've seen multiple basements with no windows and no separate entrance. But again, those basements are so small that even if the owners wanted to make a legal basement, they couldn't. On an average, you're looking at an increase of around $10,000 to $20,000 in construction cost when making a legal basement instead of an illegal one. Income. The kind of tenants you get in a basement are generally people with low income, students, or new immigrants. Every landlord's dream is to have a professional tenant that pays on time and keeps the place clean. But those nice tenants also prefer living in nicer places. Legal basements are generally bright with natural light due to the amount of windows. And since they are constructed as per the Ontario Building Code, they're also safer to live in. Hence, tenants prefer legal basements, which is why they don't mind paying more. However, the difference in the rental income isn't much. You would probably get $100 to $200 more per month if you have a legal basement. However, if you have an illegal basement, your income gets eaten away by additional costs. Since they are made from bad quality materials, there are high chances of breakages and repairs. Illegal basements also attract bad quality tenants that will trash your place or even worse, stop paying rent. In case the authorities find out about your illegal basement, they can penalize you and even ask you to make it in a legal way, which is only going to cost you more. By the way guys, please make sure to give me a quick thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to keep getting regular updates on my latest content. Future value. If you're thinking about finishing your basement for your own enjoyment, then you may not care about rental income and thus a legal basement. But you're not going to live in the same house forever. Eventually you may want to buy a bigger or a smaller space depending on where you are in your life. At that time you want to make sure that your house gets top dollar. Due to the fact that you make more money, get better quality tenants, and don't have to worry about the authorities penalizing you, will make most people want to pay more for a legal basement. In fact, in cities like Brampton, people market the fact that their basement was constructed legally with permits. It may cost you $15,000 more when making the basement, but people will pay you almost double that because they don't need to go through the headache of city approvals and dealing with contractors. Additionally, most buyers don't have that kind of cash lying around to reconstruct the space. That doesn't mean that people don't want to buy a house with an illegal basement at all. Those houses have their own space in the market too. But comparatively, these houses tend to get less offers and even lower prices. In fact, I've seen buyers use that as a negotiation tactic, stating that they will have to spend a lot of money in reconstruction, even though they will just leave it the way it is. Risks. Basements are at a huge risk of fire and flooding. The illegal ones even more so. That is a huge reason why it is so difficult to get insurance for properties with illegal basements. In fact, some companies refuse to insure your property even if you don't intend to have tenants occupy the space. Now, no insurance may sound like a small thing, but think of this scenario. There's flooding in the basement that damages the tenant's contents. The tenant sues you for damages and you also have to make repairs. Since you don't have insurance, all that money comes out from your pocket. Another risk of having an illegal basement is in case of bad tenants, your neighbors may complain about them to the local authorities, who may then come give you a visit. Once they visit you, they will know that your basement is not legal and will then alert the city about it. So you're constantly living in fear of some hazard happening in the future or people finding out. Just because you have a legal basement doesn't mean that there is no risk. You need to maintain the upkeep on a regular basis, such as checking the smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, having proper ventilation, etc. If you fail to do so, the insurance may refuse to cover your damages. Let me know in the comments if you would prefer paying more for a legal basement or risk having an illegal one.